all the problems associated with food waste and commercial agriculture with respect to the climate, and I have 5 minutes to prove that too, so obviously I got a lot to get through, so let's go. Now, I'm sure everyone in this room is more or less aware of the fact that food waste is a problem, so I'm going to save us both the lecture. However, However, just in case, I'll give you a little refresher. So this is bad. That is also bad. 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 Yes, so nothing particularly enlightening here. However, to be honest, food waste is kind of an intuitive problem anyway. Except one thing that people often don't know is that households are really the Achilles heel here. Which seems hard to believe because we all know that like commercial agriculture and supermarkets throw out way more food waste than households, right? Wrong. Households actually throw out 7 times more food waste than the entire agricultural, forestry and fishing industry combined. So what is the solution here? Well, again, lots of people seem to think the answer is some form of composting, but frankly, composting sucks. It's an inefficient, low-grade fertilizer, and to put some numbers behind it, a metric ton of compost is only worth $30. Now, this isn't even to mention the fact that composting is just a super inconvenient thing to do. I mean, it's slow, it's dirty, it stinks, and you can't really do it in an apartment building. So although you're definitely not going to be finding a compost bin next to like Dan Bilzerian's sink, you might find AWA. So AWA is our countertop biowaste converter and the world's answer to the food waste crisis. So AWA is just like an organics bin, except it's way better. It uses a very fancy technique to process your organic food scraps and transform them into an odorless, nutrient-rich biochar. Most people don't know what biochar is, so it is time for a science lesson. So biochar is a type of activated carbon which can be used as a powerful soil amendment. Now, the underlying science is fairly technical, but essentially biochar has a unique structure which gives it 3 main superpowers. 1, holds water really well, so you can effectively halve your water usage. 2, doubles the speed of crop growth, and 3, it passively sequesters carbon from the atmosphere and uses it to enrich the surrounding soil. However, biochar doesn't just have agricultural superpowers, it's used in a host of other industries as well. And for this reason, whereas compost sells for $30 a tonne, biochar sells for close to $3,000. Now, keep this all in mind because it is relevant. Going back to this whole AWA thing though, what is it and how does it work? Well, you find some gross bruise on your banana, you throw that banana into AWA, 3 hours later you have some biochar, with which you can do one of 2 things. 1, you can use that biochar in your own garden as a powerful soil amendment. Or 2, you can give that biochar back to us, the parent company, and we will then sell it on your behalf within our client networks of farms and agriculturalists. So this way, if you live in an apartment or just produce more biochar than you need, you can still recover the full salvage value of your food waste. Now, under this model, the average household should be able to realise at least 15% of their annual grocery bill, or close to $1,000. So we've effectively commodified food waste, and now we've all heard of like farm-to-table products, well now we can have table-to-farm produce. So this is all well and good, but let's also keep tally of the impact we're able to have here. So firstly, AWA allows us to utilise the superpowers of biochar at an industrial scale, which aids us in netting out the emissions of the entire agricultural industry. However, in commodifying food waste, we're also able to keep food waste from entering landfill in the first place, which tackles the world's 3rd largest environmental threat. Further, as a bonus for keeping all this food out of landfill, we're also able to save the federal government $250 million per annum in waste management costs. And this is despite the fact that we're going to have to deal with an increase in other waste products like plastics and metals because Asia's not taking them anymore. And what do you get for your troubles? Well, you still earn yourself a pretty penny and all you had to do is throw that banana in another bin. Now, for me, it's not a question of whether or not a waste management system like this is going to exist in the future. It's a question of who is going to do it first, because the current composting solutions are non-starters. In the same way the iPhone killed the landline, biochar just bodies compost. It's not a discussion, it's obsolete. Now, currently, the countertop biochar space is a blue ocean, but it is a market ripe for competition. The biochar market's worth about $8 billion at the moment, and the home appliance market's going to be worth $760 by 2025. Time to give people what they want, exponential growth. So yes, this is our expected growth against the market, and as you can see, we're expected to hit $250 million in revenue within the first 5 years of sale. However, my ultimate goal for this project is to have it to be as necessary to own in your house as a stove, fridge, or oven. So yes, it is still some years away. So where are we on this journey? Well, we're about here. I'll zoom in on that for you. We're here. So still some years from first sales revenue. However, I've recently been in discussion with one of the world's most successful comedians, and together we're working on a strategy which will allow us to go to market before our product's actually ready to enter the market. So stay tuned for that. However, as of current, I've primarily been focused on researching the underlying science and economics of this project to make sure it has legs, built some rudimentary prototypes, and I'm ready for the next stage. My personal background is in mathematics and finance, so I'm currently looking for a CTO to help bridge some of my engineering gaps. However, what I'm asking for today is $60,000 to help me build a laboratory prototype, which will aid in further testing and development work, which will later inform the development of a fully fabricated MVP. Thank you.